The time has finally come, the gold medal game. What we've all been waiting for here at the Central Region Championships. It's the undefeated Waterloo Wolves taking on the North Shore Whitecaps. A fantastic game in store as two teams with one chance at a trip to the TELUS Cup. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Mitch Kane bringing you today's action, and the North Shore Whitecaps will be without Rocco Williams today, but no matter. They have built their way here off 4 consecutive wins. They go in against the hottest team of the tournament, the Waterloo Wolves, 6-0 through the round robin. And in the semis yesterday, we should be in for a great one between two top teams with only one spot available in the TELUS Cup. U18 AAA Central Region Championship. It's medal day.
That's gonna do it! The North Shore Whitecaps to the gold medal game!
And the Waterloo Wolves have punched their ticket to the gold medal game. They've got a date with the Whitecaps tomorrow. Final score, the Wolves win by a margin of 6-2. U18 AAA Central Region Championship. It's medal day.
That's gonna do it! The North Shore Whitecaps to the gold medal game!
And the Waterloo Wolves have punched their ticket to the gold medal game. They've got a date with the Whitecaps tomorrow. Final score, the Wolves win by a margin of 6-2.
71, Liam Hackett. At forward, number 9, Ethan McLeish. 18, Braxton Howard. And 91, Rowan Turner. In goal for the Whitecaps, number 33, Lucian Arniotis. The starting lineup for the Waterloo Wolves. Defense, number 19, Aaron Howell. 55, Liam Strauss. At forward, number 39, Charlie Fast. 57, Eli Humphrey. And 68, Cole Bonneville. In goal for the Wolves, number 31, Finn Pettipies. On-ice officials for this afternoon's game, referees TJ Hunter and Ian Rush, linesmen Ryan Irving and Braden Evans. At this time, we ask if you're able to please rise, remove your hats for the playing of O Canada.
Starting goaltender for the Waterloo Wolves tonight, it's Finn Pettipies. The Guelph, Ontario native has been fantastic through the Central Region Championship. He's got a 3-0 record with a 1.64 goals against average and a .937 save percentage. Starting in front of him, it's Howell and Strauss on the back end, with Fast, Humphrey, and Bonneville up front. On the other end, for the North Shore Whitecaps. Starting between the pipes, it's Lucian Arniotis. He's got a 2-1 record with a 2.7 goals against average and a .901 save percentage here in the Central Region Championship. He didn't start in the semis, but he started 3 games throughout. And head coach Tyler Turcotte feels he has fresh legs and big game experience. Starting in front of him, it'll be Sheridan and Hackett on the back end, with Turner, Howard, and McLeish up front. The Waterloo Wolves, the Alliance champions, the North Shore Whitecaps, the OMHA finalists. One trip at the TELUS Cup on the line. Gold medal game is underway. North Shore with the early dump into the offensive end as Howell will move it across for Strauss. Waterloo moving it up the middle of the ice as Strauss takes into the offensive end. He'll move it to the outside. Strauss, forehand shot turned away by Arniotis as he gets tested early. Lucian Arniotis, he backstopped the Whitecaps' big semi-final victory over the Ajax Pickering Raiders, who were the #1 team in the OMHA this season. Quick offensive zone draw for the Wolves. Humphrey in on the draw. He'll win it clean back. It goes across. Strauss, the one-time bomb, misses wide on the near side. Wolves hold the line as Humphrey will be back on, and he dumps it in deep, where it'll be McLeish who rings it around the boards first. It comes up on the near side as Bonneville looks to tap it forward, but it comes to neutral. Howell rings it around. Arniotis can't slow it up. Puck clears all the way out back to the line as McLeish will tap it forward as North Shore goes for a wholesale change. Ball to Maybe as McLeish lays the check on Ball early. Maybe across the line as it'll be played in. Coming the other way with it now, Hutchings. Max Hutchings across the line, goes between the legs, can't keep it up. Debut, he'll leave it off Arsenault. Long shot in. Jam at the plate. Rebound is loose at the side of the goal as it comes free. Debut moves over the middle. Quick shot turned away by Pettipies. The rebound was loose as Hutchings tapped it in. But the official blows it dead. A jam play at the side of the goal. We've seen that all tournament from the Whitecaps. Looking for the greasy goals on the rebounds. But the quick whistle bails out Pettipies. Forwell against Debut on the draw. Forwell wins it clean to Maybe. Maybe scored 2 goals in Game 5 of the round robin against the Markham Waxers as it'll be moved to the far side. Ball chips it off the dasher. Alves moves it up, and he'll fire it into North Shore territory. Arniotis rings it around the boards as Goulet will be to it first. He'll chop away as the puck clears out to center as Ball takes a big hit from Debut in neutral. Chipped up the boards as it comes back to neutral as Sawyer Smith backhands it into the offensive end. Arsenault will be first to it as he'll go D to D behind the net. Goulet, long outlet pass, is looking for the home run shot. That will come back for an icing call with 18:06 to go in the first period. Michael Ball has been fantastic all week long for the Waterloo Wolves. 12 points on the back end for the defenseman. Faceoff's tied up, taken away by Goulet as he'll sit behind the goal line. Debut and Marks getting into it early as it clears the line. Debut takes a run at Young. He's able to dodge the check. Arsenault moves it over the middle, stepping up on a Young. He fires the shot, blocked in front by Goulet. Up and out of play. Kane Goulet, the Port Perry, Ontario native. 1 goal in the Central Region Championship. Had 1 goal in the OMHA season for the Whitecaps. Marks on the draw. Marks moves it forward, but will be knocked. Jam play at the side. Great save by Arniotis. He robs Smith on the back door. Quick play off the draw as it's moved forward by Marks. And right at the side of the goal, somehow Arniotis keeps that one out. North Shore with a late change. McLeish against Marks on the draw. There'll be one back by McLeish as it's rang around the boards for Longo. Joey Longo will work it in the offensive end. Goes to the backhand, driving the goal, turned away by Pettipies. Miller. He'll walk it out. He's being hounded by Longo. Miller will move it up ice. Miller between the legs of Farmer as he chips it to the outside, taken away by Bluin. Bluin gets knocked down. He'll move it to Farmer. Farmer rings it around the boards, intended for Callery, as he'll take an elbow up high from Miller. Miller behind the goal, near Rizel. Miller chips it off the boards. Hobson leaves for Humphrey. Waterloo having a hard time escaping the zone. The hounding forecheck of the Whitecaps as Jackman lays a big hit on the far side on Hobson. Bonneville dancing over the middle. He'll play to the far side corner. Arniotis rings it around. He'll be tied up on the near side as Drew works it free. He'll take a pause behind his own goal. Drew fires it right up the middle, intended for Sandiford as it's into the offensive end. Strauss whacks it to open ice. Strauss gets pinned off, able to move it forward for Humphrey as the Wolves are in transition. Hobson, he'll fire it into the offensive end, but is knocked off a skate, and Farmer into the offensive zone. Farmer will backhand it to the corner as Humphrey lets that puck go for Howell. Howell rings it around, intended for Bonneville. It escapes the center as Hackett will fire it in to the far side corner. Zach Forwell had 4 points in the semifinal victory over the Waxers yesterday. Strauss will fire it in behind the goal. Arniotis out to play it. His last action Friday. Turner, he'll walk it out. Across the line, Howard a long shot in, gloved down by Pettipies as he'll freeze for a whistle. Pettipies was incredible in the alliance this season for the Waterloo Wolves. A 15-1 record with a 0.82 goals against average. It was Grady McCall who got the nod in the alliance finals against the Elgin Middlesex Canucks, but seeming to roll with the hot goaltender here in the championship as Pettipies gets the nod. Holman over the middle for Forwell. He'll take it to the outside as the puck's into the offensive end. Sheridan rings it around the dasher. Hutchings to it first. He'll freeze as he flicks it out to center. We'll go all the way back for Maybe. Ball sends the return feed back to Maybe. Back to Ball. He'll walk it through neutral. Ball looking to chip it forward. It's knocked down by the stick of Hutchings, and North Shore's back on the attack. Hutchings leaves it off. Deboo can't get the shot off as he'll take it towards the corner. Deboo right over the middle, looking for Hutchings for the one-time chance, but it's intercepted by Fast and sent back out to center. 5 minutes into the gold medal game, still a scoreless tie as Pettipies will let that one go. Maybe with it behind the goal as North Shore sets up in the neutral zone. Long lead feed, that's off the foot. Goes right through the roof as sharp angle for Alves. He can't get the shot off. Deboo walks it through neutral. Looking to get around, maybe he does. Deboo still with the puck. Deboo to the front, he elevates too high. Goulet, bouncing puck in the slot, kicked away by Sinclair as Kinchin holds the line. He spins and fires, it's blocked by Maybe. Marks works it out the other way. Marks, a nice move to the front of the goal as Arniotis will play it to the side wall. Chipped back out to center, it's knocked down and rang around the boards. Arniotis out to slow it up as Waterloo gets a change. Long lead feed, that's outside the reach of Longo and will go for an icing call. We would like to say thank you to our partners for supporting today's event. Special recognition goes to Milk, a proud partner of the U18 AAA Central Region Championships. Dairy Farmers of Ontario are proud to support young athletes and encourage healthy, active lifestyles. 5 minutes and 58 seconds in, as the faceoff will be controlled by the Whitecaps. Moved back out to center. Shots 4-2 in the early going for the Whitecaps. Maybe he'll get to center and fire it in on target as Arniotis didn't know where that puck bounced. Took a weird deflection off the blocker. Arniotis. Long lead feed over the middle as Humphrey will turn it back the other way. Chips it off the boards into the offensive end as Young has the puck stripped away and Ball will take at center. Long shot in as Arniotis makes the save. Bouncing puck over the middle will be kicked away by Maybe. Here comes Longo the other way. Longo dumps it off Farmer. Farmer over the middle, a chance at tight. His shot turned away by Pettipies. Golden opportunity for the Whitecaps early. Humphrey to the far side ball. Farmer hounds him. Jackman tries to play it low for Farmer as Ball works it out the other way. He'll get to center, fire it on target, and go for a change. Wholesale change for the Wolves as Bluin moves it out. Long lead feed intended for Farmer. No icing the call. Strauss, he advances as knocked down by the glove of Forwell. He'll saucer it through. Bonneville looking for the backdoor feed. Couldn't get it through a sea of bodies. Howell plays it to the far side corner. Bluin. He'll chip it off the boards down the length of the ice, and that will go for an icing call with 12:30 to play in the first. Will Kuhneman, the forward for the Waterloo Wolves, took warm-ups today to see if he can go. He didn't play in the semis. Doesn't look like he'll play in the championship game either. Forwell on the draw. He'll win it back, but it's taken away quickly by Farmer as he's out in transition. He'll get to center, fire it in deep, and go for a change. Strauss. Near side, Bonneville. Long feed across as he connects with Forwell. Forwell across the line. A nice move to the backhand. Has it knocked away. Strauss, a long shot from the point. It's knocked down in front. Sheridan looks for the exit pass. As knocked down by glove. Bonneville smartly communicating with his defense not to touch up. Keeps the play alive. Hobson to the near side. Tries to dump it in as it's knocked away. Hackett regains possession. Bouncing puck into the offensive end. Howard bearing down on Strauss. He'll take a whack as can't get that puck free. Near Eisel. Up for Strauss. Chips it off the boards. Howard lays the check in front of the Waterloo bench. Sheridan will take in his own end. Looks for the outlet pass. Intercepted by Bonneville. Has to let Marks tag up as Bonneville will just play it in the offensive end and go for a change. Sheridan behind the goal. Feed over the middle as working it up ice as McLeish. McLeish to the outside. Long shot in. Covered up by Pettipies with McLeish crashing the net hard. The last two championship games these two teams played, it was the Waterloo Wolves claiming a 5-0 victory over the Elgin Middlesex Canucks to claim their second Alliance championship in 3 years. For the North Shore Whitecaps, it was the OMHA championship against the Markham Waxers, which they lost 3-2 in overtime. March and Debut on the draw. Tied up, and Debut will win it back. Long shot in from Arsenault. It's blocked in front. Kulababa looks to cycle it down as Debut has it in the corner. Debut escapes as he gets it to Hutchings. Hutchings from below the goal line. He'll work it up to the top of the circle before ringing it back down, starting the cycle for Debut. Hops his stick as Kulababa gets taken into the boards. He'll kick it, skate to stick, as it's taken away. Hutchings from the side of the goal. Jam play at the side. The net comes off. As Hutchings took a whack, and he'll give a shove to Near Eisel. These two teams had a spirited battle back earlier in the week. It was the Tuesday game where the North Shore Whitecaps got shut out. It was a 2-0 victory, backstop by Finn Pettipies for the Waterloo Wolves. Benches would end up clearing at the end of the second period. 10:51 to play, shots 5-4 for the Whitecaps. Callery on the draw, Kinchin in the shooting slot. Draw will be won by the Wolves as Maybe flicks it out over the middle of the ice. Knocked down by a high stick, but waved off by the officials. Arsenault near side for Callery as it'll slow up in the offensive end. Here comes Callery with the burst of speed. Diving at the feet was Ball, held at the line. Arsenault up top. Goulet, a long shot, punched away by Pettipies. Maybe he'll clear the line as Arsenault has it at the point. Long lead feed will be deflected by Kinchin, but knocked down by the body of Ball. Humphrey to the far side. Alves across the line. Takes it outside. Long shot in. Glove down by Arniotis. Some pushing and shoving after the whistle. Emery Alves, the Waterloo, Ontario native. 19 points on the season. He's got 2 goals and 5 assists here at the Central Region Championships. A lot of games in a short number of days for these teams. It's their 7th game in 7 days. Looking to book a trip to Peterborough. We'll redo the draw as Forwell gets kicked out. Sawyer Smith will come in to take against Jackman. Smith wins it back as Forwell to ball, long shot in, glove down by Arnie Otis. Zach Forwell has been fantastic all week long. The Elmira, Ontario native in the Alliance this season led the team in goals, led the team in points. He led the team in points in the playoffs, and he leads the team in points in the Central Region Championship with 13. Forwell to the forehand as it's taken away by Drew. Backhands it out for Sandiford. Now Sandiford will chip it up ice. Knocked down by a skate of maybe as Forwell flicks it free. He'll get it into the offensive end, go on the chase as he's trying to get around Hackett. He'll run him into the boards. Drew, the spinning backhand pass as the puck is moved up ice. Farmer one-on-one with ball. He'll stop up, moves it to Sandiford. Sandiford trying to get it free, couldn't get loose. As Forwell takes in his own end, he'll just chip it up the boards as Farmer goes after him. Drew in his own end. Gets to the back end and fires it in deep. He'll go for a change. Pettipies behind the goal. He leaves it off for Ball. Michael Ball setting up behind his own goal to maybe. Long feed to the far side as Hobson chips it into the offensive end. Hobson from the corner looks for the centering attempt. Jam play at the side of the goal. Couldn't get it past Arnie Otis. Tie up in the corner. Puck works free for Sheridan. He'll move it over the middle of the ice as he can't connect there with McLeish. Bouncing puck, knocked down. McLeish across the line, long shot in, glove down by Pettipies. Ethan McLeish, one of the assistant captains for the Whitecaps. The Cannington, Ontario native, had a goal earlier in the week here in the Central Region Championship. The Whitecaps scoring 3 goals in the first period against the Toronto Titans in yesterday's game. Sheridan, long shot from the point, misses wide as Debut will scoop up the loose puck. Debut waits, looks over his options. He gets hemmed in by Marks as he ran out of time. Debut looking to step up. Puck comes free. Long shot in. Misses wide of the target by Kulababa. Debut over the middle. He gets free. Fires the shot. It's blocked in front as Marks takes a spill. Hutchings with it in the corner. He'll try and free it up. Hutchings takes towards the goal line. Will chip it to the outside. Still with possession. Hutchings tries to slow up and go the other way as the puck is tied up. Kulababa will move it out. Being hounded by Howell as Hutchings gets free. Up to the point. Sheridan walks, gets the shot through. It's tipped on the back door. Jansen tight between the legs. Rebound chance. A quick whistle by the official as the net comes off. Debut unhappy with the call. When talking to head coach Tyler Turcotte about championship games, he's been in them before. What's different about this one? He said absolutely nothing. It's another hockey game, and he said to his guys, don't listen to the outside noise. You know what this team's about. Stick to our systems, and we'll be just okay. Humphrey and Callery on the draw. Near Eisel will chip it off the boards and out. Goulet to it first as he'll try and spin away from the pressure of Alves. He takes a spill behind the goal as Sinclair bearing down on him. Sinclair forces the turnover. He'll ring it off the boards up high. Miller at the point. Dancing on the blue line. He'll backhand it through as it's knocked down to the corner. That one comes out of the zone as it stops on a dime as here comes Longo. Longo plays it up. Callery, a chance from the slot. Can't get the stick free as he got hounded quickly by Nir Eisel as Humphrey moves the other way. Humphrey, a nice move into the offensive end. It's poked off his stick as Kinchin comes the other way. He'll get to center, fire it in, and that one's knocked off the blocker, up and out of play. There's a look at Tyler Turcotte, the head coach of the North Shore Whitecaps. He mentioned that they've got a lot of depth going into today. They want to keep rolling their four lines like they have all season long. They've got a lot of health on their side, and they feel fresh coming into today's game against the Wolves. This one controlled behind the net by Aaron Howell. Howell will work it out. Intended for Forwell. That will be chipped right back into the offensive end. Pettipies leaves it behind the goal for Howell. Moves it over Strauss. Strauss off the boards, and it clears the zone as walking in is fast, but it's knocked back to neutral. Forwell trying to chip it up to himself, but it's taken away by Turner. He'll shovel the shot towards the front of the goal as it's covered up by Pettipies. When speaking with assistant coach Tyler Murdoch of the Waterloo Wolves, talking about their power play. They went 3 for 3 yesterday. They've had the #1 power play in the tournament all week. They're confident, they're quick moving, and they keep it nice and simple. Howard ties up Strauss on the far side as bouncing puck towards the front of the goal will be taken away by Howell. He sees a lane as he'll swing it to Strauss, and he'll just fire it off the glass and in deep. Fast on the attack as the bouncing puck will be corralled by the Whitecaps. Goulet moves it out. Fast right back into the offensive end as that one goes high up and into the netting. Tyler Murdoch also went on to mention that this has been a long week, playing 7 games in 7 days. It's very different than a 7-game series, but they're used to the pressure. In the Elgin Middlesex Canucks series, they were tested with 2 elimination games, able to win the last 2 games of the series as they propelled themselves here to the gold medal game. 6-0 in the tournament, averaging well over 5 goals a game. This offense has been high flying all week. Faceoff controlled as Maybe swings it back for ball. That one off the boards as Maybe corrals, and he'll ring it in deep. Arnie Otis out to slow it up. He'll leave it for Sheridan. Sheridan chips it around as narrowly avoids the hit as Jackman high off the glass takes a weird bounce and slows up in neutral. Sheridan with possession of it. Long feed for Farmer as it'll be played into the offensive end. Pettipies stays put. Maybe to Ball. Off the board, Smith looking for the outlet but couldn't connect with Marks. He'll be whacked to open space as Young is able to clear the line. Ball with it in his own end. Pass up for Young. Waterloo across the line. It's knocked off his stick and poked back out to neutral. Over the middle, Farmer. Kulababa tries to push it forward as it'll be controlled by Drew in his own end. Drew the long lead feed. Kulababa knocks it down with a stick. Feed across the middle for Farmers. He'll tip it into the offensive end and go for a wholesale change. Ball waits behind the goal. Moves it off quickly for Maybe. Gets caught in his feet as he'll send the return feed. Hops in a slick pass with his foot as it's taken in by Bonneville. Far side dumping off the official as Drew rings it on the boards for Hutchings. Hutchings can't center as it's taken away by the Wolves, where Drew will push it out for the Whitecaps. Drew on the far side with a burst of speed. He has the puck knocked off his stick by Miller as he gets pinned into the glass. Drew chips it back down low behind the goal. Near Eisel. Moves it back to that busy side as Miller clears the line. Babu looking to cut over the middle, but had it knocked off his sticks. That one goes high, flying into the Waterloo bench. Tyler Murdoch of the Waterloo Wolves. I'm talking about the last game against the Whitecaps. It was a very physical battle in the 2-0 victory, but he mentioned just focus on hockey. They know the Whitecaps thrive on physicality. They thrive on the puck battles. So mentioning focus on hockey and play our game. Howell into the offensive end. It gets knocked down by Stick. Chance in the slot. Rebound chance. They score! Waterloo strikes first, and it's Emery Alves. It's played into the offensive end, and Alves sticks with it. Denied on the first shot, taps it home on the second. Waterloo leads the gold medal game with 4 minutes to play in the first. Arnie Otis out to slow it up. Sheridan to the forehand as he'll swing behind the net. Strauss.
Number 44, Colton Sinclair. Time of the goal, 16 minutes, 1 second. Alves from Howell and Sinclair at 16:01.
Howell and Sinclair pick up the assist as the long shot in is blocked in front. Howell around the boards as Strauss moves it. Waterloo with numbers into the offensive end. Strauss slows up across the line, moves it forward, marks to the backhand, tries to get the shot off but couldn't get it through. Delayed penalty upcoming against the Whitecaps, as it's going to be interference. The call on Howard. Waterloo power play to the attack for the first time tonight. Waterloo's power play this tournament, they are 14 of 31. That's good for 45% and good for first place in the Central Region Championship. The North Shore penalty kill clicking at an 88.5% clip. Unstoppable force versus unmovable object. As Pettipies looks to play and he gets rid of it just in time. Maybe to the far side.
For interference at 16:42.
Forwell rings it around. Arnie Otis leaves it off and it'll be knocked down by a glove. As no hand pass. Longo on it, deep in Waterloo territory. He gets knocked to the ices. Maybe we'll work it out. Humphrey in across the line as he'll ring it around the boards. Intended for Marks. Humphrey got drilled in behind the play as it's cleared out once again. One thing that Tyler Turcotte mentioned was don't give the Waterloo Wolves an opportunity. They went 7 for 7 on the penalty kill in yesterday's game against the Titans. Forwell at the point. He'll swing it over. Ball working downhill. Up top, Forwell. He'll walk. Wait. Showing the patience. Maybe his shot just missing wide of the target. Bashing away at the side of the goal is Sandiford. A clearing effort blocked by Ball. Hackett will spin and fire. He can't clear the line. It's kept in by Forwell. Loses control of the puck as Hackett getting tied up. No call. As the North Shore faithful wanting a hooking call. Puck will be worked up to the point. Ball waits, moves it over, maybe. Quick shot! Stopped by Arnie Otis, up and out of play. 25 seconds to go on the man advantage. This puck stoppage is brought to you by Barron Rings, the official championship ring provider of the U18 AAA Central Region Championships. Barron Rings proudly celebrates the achievements of athletes by creating lasting symbols of success and excellence. Waterloo's power play creating a lot of pressure here in the late goings of the first. Second unit out. Alves wins the drawback as it'll be taken by Strauss. He'll take the return feed. Strauss across the line. Near Izell walks, waits. He fires the shot through, but it's blocked in front and clears the line. 10 seconds to go on the power play. That will be cleared out quickly, knocked down at the red line as a chance for the Whitecaps the other way. Jackman in on the attack as he has the stick stuck around near Izell. And we are back to even strength. Alves. Young tips it forward as collision in behind the play. Goulet across the line. He fires a shot, turned away by the blocker of Pettipies. A strong first showing for the Waterloo power play. But can't fit one by Arnie Otis. The lead's still just one. 66 seconds to play here in the first. Top line rolls out for the Wolves. Forwell on the defensive zone draw against Taboo. Faceoff's tied up and will be poked away by Forwell as Waterloo clears the line. It's popped over the head of Drew as he's got to retreat with Fast bearing down on him. Fast takes him into the boards, but Drew gets free as Sheridan will chip it off the boards. As it's knocked down, Kulababa rings it around. Miller flips it forward for Forwell. He'll send the return feed for Miller. Miller looking to kickstart the breakout as Forwell swings it back near Izell across the red line. Into the offensive end, dangling through. That will be scooped up by Arnie Otis with 30.6 to play. Jackson Nearizel, the 5'11 defenseman from Kitchener. He's got 3 assists in the Central Region Championship. Looking for his first goal. There's the last dangle through. He got it free around Sheridan, but couldn't contain possession as he worked towards the goal. Shots even, 8 apiece through the first 19:30. Puck will be won back as Sheridan rings it around the boards. Howard has to handle the bouncing puck. He'll move it back over the middle as it's knocked down and moved out by Hackett as he got hacked at by Humphrey. That's off the glass. McLeish across the line. Toe drag move knocked away by the stick and Fast looking for the clear. Gets back to center. One last push here for the Wolves. It's knocked down in neutral. Humphrey will move it to Fast. 3 seconds on the clock. He'll just dump it in. And that will do it for the first period of the gold medal game here from the Angus Glen Community Centre for the U18 AAA Central Region Championship. The Wolves strike first with a trip to the TELUS Cup on the line. Folks, you don't want to go anywhere. Second period action will be here before you know it. AAA Central Region Championship. It's medal day.
That's gonna do it! The North Door Whitecaps to the gold medal game!
And the Waterloo Wolves have punched their ticket to the gold medal game. They've got a date with the Whitecaps tomorrow. Final score, the Wolves win by a margin of 6-2.
Got something to call mine. Oh, I need someone to talk to right now. Oh, we are on our way. Starting today.
The TELUS Cup is coming to Peterborough. Canada's men's U18 National Club Championship is taking over the Peterborough Memorial Centre. From the opening face-off to the final goal of the championship game, the TELUS Cup delivers unforgettable moments at the highest level of U18 hockey in Canada. Be there for every moment. Get your tickets now at hockeycanada.ca/TELUS Cup.
Gold medal winner!
There's change, and change is always good.
I'd like to continue making sure freedom of movement is smooth. It's easier for kids to play, making sure as many kids who want to play can play, making sure that the OHF is well managed financially, well governed. Those things they're not sexy, but they're important.
Being part of the future of hockey, I'd like to make sure that hockey continues being hockey. My goal also is to be that devil's advocate, helping understand and question what we are doing to make sure that it is the right thing to do in the future.
Progress that I would like to see is to really continue to push the game and to push the quality of our events and the player experience and bring in some new and exciting and innovative initiatives like online streaming for our OHF championships.
For me, it's all about the players. They will always need support. We need to nurture their well-being physically, emotionally, intellectually, and spiritually. How can we do that in a good way? What does that look like? Growth and development, what change looks like in a good way, the culture and respect and integrity for the benefit of the players, and accessibility at all levels. So recruitment and retention for players. How do we get volunteers on board? How do we keep them involved? And how can we make that process streamlined and easier for that to happen?
What I would like to see is spend more time on recreational hockey and provide the recreational player who make up most of our membership feel more important and more worthy of the attention that some of the representative teams and people get, and translate that into the recreational stream.
It's an avenue by which players get to participate in a recreational activity that's structured, that's safe, and that, as I said previously, produces some pretty good citizens.
What progress I'd be looking for are just continued work towards inclusion, diversity, making the game more affordable, making the game easily accessible in terms of registration, and also continue the path of continued growth within hockey.
The vision of hockey in Ontario is a very complicated issue. There are a lot of people that have a lot of different views about what it should be. We work together better now than we ever have. We're on the same page more now than we ever have. So my job is to listen to people.
I'm most excited about the leadership role that OHF is taking on, and you can really see it in the customer service that's being delivered. Always thinking about the players and always thinking about the experience of enriching communities through hockey.
Success as chair to me would be having people say the members of the Ontario Hockey Federation get along better than they've ever gotten along. We collaborate more than we've ever collaborated. We trust each other more than we've ever trusted each other. If we all communicate and we all trust each other, we'll all make progress.
Personally, receiving the scholarship, it's meant a lot to me. It kind of brought some light to what had happened to me. I wasn't able to work for about 6 months. It's helped me and my family a lot, just paying for school and it being less of a burden. I want kids to have the same experience I had when I was a kid. I think a lot of people bond over hockey and what it's given to them, so I want to give the same to the future youth.
As someone that never played at a high level of hockey, I never really imagined being a professional referee until 2022. And I really thought, where could this job go? So I played A in Mississauga, and the association reached out to our team for timekeepers. And when I wanted to start, they offered me a position to start officiating. From then, just climbing through the ranks of the Mississauga Hockey League, Greater Toronto Hockey League, and into the Ontario Hockey League. Not playing at a high level is one thing that sticks out when you go to referee at a high level. I feel like I have something to prove going into these bigger games and big rinks. Some coaches know that you never played at a high level, so how could you be refereeing? And it's important to remind yourself that you're there for a reason, just like they are. Your name didn't fall out of a hat and all of a sudden you're refereeing a professional hockey game. Off seasons are where you make the most gains as an official and player. Something that I think is very important as an official that didn't play high-level hockey is your skating ability. Take power skating lessons, sit on the ice, whether it's with your friends or alone, and get skated. As you climb the ranks and start to officiate major, junior, and professional hockey, you really start to notice the difference that communication makes with the players, coaches, other officials, and above. Staying composed, professional, and handling pressure is very important. Stakes are so high that we need to make correct, accurate decisions as best as we can. We don't get replays like you do at home watching the TV. We've got to make it that split second, and it's got to be as accurate as possible. I think getting into officiating can be daunting at times. You get yelled at, people think you're wrong, when really most of the time you are right. You start second-guessing your abilities and you get discouraged. So I think just reminding yourself that all the hard work and dedication that you put into over the years, it's very rewarding in the end.
So that specific shooting drill that we were working on today is to help give them those extra shooting techniques so that in a game-like situation, they're not just using one or two, they've got multiple ways of being able to shoot the puck. Not only does that make it more difficult for the defenseman to defend, but also for that goaltender to not only track it, but making sure that they're able to square up on the puck as well. So just helps them become more of that lethal player that they're looking for at that elite level.
Out here, we're working on a lot of transitioning, walking the blue line, puck retrievals. Lots of that has to do with being able to take good angles to pucks, good routes to pucks, being able to shoulder check, being able to execute some deception. There's a setup, there's a trap, there's a payoff to every move. So making sure that the players are understanding the process in how to identify danger, identify options, and how to misdirect players under a stressful environment.
So a lot of our focus points here at the Program of Excellence Under 15 is going to be helping the goaltenders a lot with their preparation before the shot. Things like leading with the eyes, scanning the ice before they make their movements, being able to put themselves into the right places at the right times, and ultimately set themselves up for success when the shot comes off the stick. We're also going to be tying in a couple small technical areas where we're talking about a lot of sequencing in their movement, about how the body is supposed to operate from the top of the head down into their skates in order to generate that real strong and effective movement.
U18 AAA Central Region Championship. It's medal day.
That's gonna do it! The North Shore Whitecaps to the gold medal game!
And the Waterloo Wolves have punched their ticket to the gold medal game. They've got a date with the Whitecaps tomorrow. Final score, the Wolves win by a margin of 6-2. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Angus Glen Community Centre for second period action between the Waterloo Wolves and the North Shore Whitecaps here in the gold medal game. Through one period of play, it's the Wolves who struck first with their high-flying offense. It was off the stick of Emery Alves, the Waterloo, Ontario native, on the rebound chance in front. Picking up the assists were Howell and Sinclair's. Nothing yet decided. 20 minutes down of the final game of the U18 AAA Central Region Championships. Here's another look at the goal as Alves didn't get the shot off clean at first. Stuck with the puck. Arnie Otis went down and he jumped all over the rebound chance, potting it for the first goal of the game. Emery Alves, that's his third goal of the championship. As the Wolves come back to the ice for second period action, they're greeted with a loud supporting section. A lot of people making the trip down from Waterloo to cheer on the local Wolves. They went 6-0 in the round robin and semis. The North Shore Whitecaps started the week 0-2 without a goal. They then rattled off 4 consecutive wins, including a 3-2 victory over the Toronto Titans in the semifinals. Shots on goal in the first period, 9-8 in favor of the Wolves. It was a very back and forth first period. Both goaltenders, very strong play. Finn Pettipies in net for the Waterloo Wolves. He had a 0.82 goals against average in the regular season. He's got a 1.64 goals against average here in the championship. On the other end, Lucian Arniotis, a 221 goals against average in the OMHA this season, and a 270 here in the championship. Second period action from the gold medal game at the Angus Glen Community Centre is underway. Thank you all for joining us here on Easter Sunday. As Hackett controls in his own end. Long lead feed. McLeish tips it forward into the offensive end. Strauss gets knocked off the puck by Howard as it's tied up behind the goal, and Sinclair works it to open space. Alves over the middle as Sinclair plays it out of the zone. Hackett fires it off the wrist of Strauss, it appears, as a big bounce off the dasher, but Howell to it first. He'll ring it around the boards as Forwell comes up the near side as Waterloo struggling to get it clear of the line in the early goings. Forwell has that one jump off his stick as Sheridan steps up with the big hit. And Howard follows it up by taking down Forwell. Long lead feed will be deflected into the Waterloo end as North Shore gets a change a minute into the period. Ball escapes from the check of Turner as it'll be played right on goal. Arnie Otis looks over his options. He'll move it out for Arsenault. Kulababa with it. He gets knocked to the ice as it's flicked into the Waterloo bench. A minute 9 into the second period. Waterloo Wolves went down 2-0 against the Markham Waxers, but assistant coach Tyler Murdoch said that there's a lot of belief. They're very confident to come back, and the bench was pumped up after they scored 3 in the first. After going down 2-0, it was a high-scoring first period in the second semifinal of the day yesterday. Hutchings takes in the corner. He'll ring it right around the boards, but it's taken away by Maybe. Bonneville He'll flip it over neutral as Goulet knocks it down. Ball quickly up ice as tipped onside by Hobson. Arsenault behind the goal. Long lead feed, deflected, but controlled by the Wolves. Hobson back into the offensive end. That one rattles off the back of the net as Arsenault scoops up first. He'll play it to the near side. Goulet, a long lead feed as Hutchings will scavenge it out to center. Arnie Otis. Goulet, long feed between the legs of Debut. No icing the call. Kulababa on the attack as it's worked free for the Wolves and up to open space. Goulet swings it back into the offensive end. No icing. They say it was tipped. Long lead feed for Smith as he'll drop it back for Marks across the line. He'll just saucer it on target as Arnie Otis moves it for Drew. Drew to the near side between the legs of Callery. Just hanged onside. Long shot in, tipped up over the goal as Smith on it first. Smith to the outside. He'll leave it off. Miller hits the brakes. He's bumped off the puck as Bluin looks to exit the zone. He'll be played back behind the goal. Drew makes a nice move to evade the check, but he gets pinned up by Marks. Kinchin on the near side. Young bangs him into the boards as the puck comes free for Longo. Longo across the red line, across the blue line to the outside. Long shot in, gloved down by Pettipies. Scrum after the whistle as North Shore looking to stir things up, get a little bit of momentum flowing their way. As Waterloo has been on the attack in the early goings of the first. The officials telling the teams to hold the bench, and a penalty was called. Unsportsmanlike conduct both ways against Kinchin and Young, so we'll stay 5-on-5. Kinchin and Young still going at it in the box. Zach Kinchin, the Peterborough, Ontario native, with a victory today, he would get to go home. The TELUS Cup in Peterborough this season. That one played up the boards, held in at the line as it'll be chopped back down towards the corner.
Waterloo number 10, Logan Young, each 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct. Time penalties 2 minutes, 55 seconds. Kinchin for North Shore, Young for Waterloo, 2 for unsportsmanlike conduct at 2:55.
Sheridan with the puck as he'll move it up ice. It's deflected into the offensive end. Bastard on the boards, that's worked out. 2-on-1 the other way. Fast with Hallman. Fast fires a shot, turned away by the right pad of Arnie Otis. Turner looking to move it up ice as he'll chip it out, but fired right back in by Forwell. Arnie Otis out to slow it up as he'll leave it for his defenseman Hackett. Hackett up the middle, bouncing puck. Swatted at by Howell and back into the offensive end. Sheridan's got to act quickly. Forwell bearing down on him. Sheridan can't clear the line. It's picked up by Fast. Centering pass intended for Hallman. Puck squirts free as Hackett moves it the other way. Hackett into the offensive end. He fires a shot. It's knocked down by the glove of Pettipies, but to the corner. Loose puck comes free as Humphrey will work it out. 4 men across the line for Waterloo. Strauss over the middle. Tries to cut it back as it's picked up by Howard. Ball, quick firing shot. It's deflected as Arnios will leave it for Goulet. He'll drop back. Arsenault waits, running out of time. Humphrey on the attack as he'll flip it around up the glass. Puck clears the line and will be fired right back in as it bangs off the backside of the net. Arsenault, long lead feed. Deflected into the zone by Howard. Ball chops it right back out as it's deflected onside by a glove as Waterloo gets a free clear. McLeish, he'll take ball into the boards as it's rattled into the North Shore territory. Humphrey picks up the loose puck at the side. Bouncing puck held at the line. Ball across. Bonneville looking for the backdoor feed. Too hot for Alves. McLeish pinning Humphrey on the near side. Arsenault digging away at it. Alves comes in two with Goulet. Puck comes free as Howard scoops up. Braxton Howard looking to move it up, but taken away. Alves, an incredible move. Backhand shot, knocked down by Goulet in front. Hounding pressure from the Wolves. Humphrey wrapped him off the foot of Arsenault and covered up by Arnie Otis. Penalty after the whistle. cross-checking the call as Humphrey draws it. I believe it's McLeish going to the box, as McLeish was shoving at Humphrey after the whistle. The officials having none of it. Waterloo back to the power play here in the early goings of the second. They're 0 for 1 on the night. Jackman and Forwell on the draw. Faceoff will be moved forward as it's knocked loose side. Humphrey drives the net hard. Net comes off its moorings as Humphrey was driving the goal. We'd like to
for cross-checking at 5:31.
We'd like to say thank you to our partners for supporting today's event. Special recognition goes to Milk, a proud partner of the U18 AAA Central Region Championships. Dairy Farmers of Ontario are proud to support young athletes and encourage healthy, active lifestyles. Faceoff comes outside as Maybe rings it around the boards. It comes all the way around for Forwell. He'll take on the near side. Forwell escapes the pressure of Jackman. Up top. Ball works it downhill. He'll leave it off. Forwell up top. Saucer pass across as that one jumps the stick of Humphrey. Humphrey up high. Whiffs on the pass. Nearly a break for Longo the other way as Jackman clears the line. Pettipe's long lead feed for Ball. He gets pressured as Jackman was trying to run him. Ball shimmies it off as he'll be played in the offensive end. Marks controls over the middle. His shot blocked in front by Arsenault. Weird bounce off the stanchion as it comes right over the middle of the ice, but Sandiford slaps away at it and clears the zone. Humphrey gets an extra whack from Goulet as he goes to the bench. Second unit out for the Wolves. Forwell, he'll take a run at it in the offensive end. Takes it to the outside. He'll hit the brakes at the top of the circle. Move it across for Ball. He works downhill. Ball, backdoor feed. It jumps the stick of Alves on the doorstep. Maybe looks to rotate it up top. Forwell not there as the puck clears all the way back to Waterloo territory. Howard scoops up the loose puck. Will fire it right back down as nearly a terrible bounce as Longo on the pressure. Forwell to Sinclair. He'll get across the blue line, fire it off the end boards as Arniotis doesn't cover. Knocked down by Niereisel. Puck up, not into the netting. It stays alive. 10 seconds left on the power play. Down low, Niereisel over the middle, trying to get free. Up to the point, Young fires a shot just wide of the target. It gets caught up on the net. Scooped up by Sinclair. We're back to even strength. Alves to the point. Niereisel, long shot in, blocked in front. Jackman clears the line as a chance for North Shore gets negated by the stick of Niereisel. McLeish over the line. He'll backhand it forward as North Shore gets some fresh bodies. Longo goes for the pin. Long lead feed. Here's a chance for Logan Young. Breakaway chance. Great defensive poke by Hackett. Lays the check on Young and hammers him to the ground. That's going to be a call. Took it a little too far. And a misconduct issued for Hackett. Interference. The call on Hackett, and he picks up a misconduct as well. Waterloo back to the power play. Hackett made the incredible defensive effort and then drives Young to the ground. Says something to the official that he didn't like, so he'll set for 10. Quick shot off the crossbar by Humphrey. Waterloo looking to strike rapid fast on the power play. Ball down to Humphrey again. It's up and over the target. Arniotis nearly stumbling. Forwell, downhill ball to the goal. Marks couldn't control. Humphrey rings it around the boards as Maybe controls and will slow things down at the point. Maybe cross the line. Forwell. Down to Humphrey, a one-time shot turned away by Arniotis. Humphrey to Maybe, that one jumps the line, not tagged up, and Humphrey will touch. And offside the call as Arsenault gives an extra whack. Face-off coming all the way back to the Waterloo end. Waterloo throwing everything they can towards the goal. Lucian Arniotis been spectacular through the first 38 seconds of this power play. Pays off one clean back by the Whitecaps as Drew fires a shot. It's blocked in front. Humphrey gets taken to the boards as it'll be worked over the middle and maybe controls. 1:10 remains as Jackman lays the check. Drew looking to clear the line, can't escape as it finally does get sent down the length of the ice. Ball has to go back to retreat. 57 seconds left on the power play. Ball to the near side. Humphrey, he's across the line. He'll hit the brakes and ring it down to the corner for Ball. Ball moves it over the middle. He's looking for maybe cutting across, but get blocked off in the middle. Down low, Forwell, sharp angle shot. Jam play at the side of the goal. Humphrey crashing hard, marks in front, but Arniotis pounces on it first. And he'll get the stoppage with 10:38 to go here in the second. Entropy, the official online championship apparel provider, offers championship gear available for order now. 39 seconds on the power play. McLeish and Sinclair on the draw. Sinclair wins it clean. Strauss at the point. Nierazel to Strauss. He'll fire a shot, rebound chance, jamming away at it. It's cleared to the point. Strauss to Young on the near side. Across, Nierazel. He scores! Jackson Nierazel! 2-0 Waterloo! The power play has been lethal all week. Young, the quick feed across. Nierazel, the cross-body shot. And it's in the back of the net. Waterloo extends the lead. It's 2-0 as we approach the midway point of the game. Arniotis can't slow that one up as Drew chips it forward for debut.
94, Jackson Nierazel. The assist to number 10, Logan Young, and to number 55, Liam Strauss. Time of the goal, 9 minutes, 38 seconds. Nierazel from Young and Strauss at 9:38.
Sheridan hacks the stick of fast out of his hands as he wanted a call, not going to get one. Icing against the Wolves. North Shore looking for an offensive push here. In the second, they trail by 2. It'll be Farmer on the draw. He'll take on Forwell. Forwell wins it back. Something that's gone unmarked in this tournament. Waterloo has been incredible on faceoffs all week long. Dominant performance in the faceoff dot has led to a lot of success in the offensive zone. They're averaging up over 5 goals a game. Especially the power play, which has now struck 15 times in this tournament. It helps when you get the possession immediately off the draw. Jackman and Humphrey on the draw. There'll be one back, Drew. He'll leave it off Sheridan at the point. Sheridan sauces it towards the goal as it gets deflected to the side. Drew right over the middle, knocked away. And that one will clear the line as Patrick Farmer has to go back on it. Farmer leaves it off for Sheridan. Sheridan, a nice move to evade Bonneville as he'll take off through the neutral zone. Dancing through, it's knocked down by the Wolves right at the blue line. Drew, up ice as the return feed comes for Farmer. He'll get to center, flip it in the offensive end, and go on the attack. Howell to it first as he'll poke it free. Jackman to the point for Drew. Dancing, long shot in, blocked away by Pettipies as it's whacked to open ice. Bonneville backhands it through as this one coming all the way down. No icing the call. Goulet has to chip it quickly as two Wolves bearing down on him. This one will be thrown to the far side corner. Waterloo has to tag up. Drew takes. Hard chip off the boards as it's intended for Farmer. Puck bounces high off the glass as Goulet will whack it back out to center. Drew chips it off the board. Sinclair will ring it around the dasher. Goulet plays it to the weak side, stepping up maybe. He's got a lane. He fires a shot off the side of the goal. Drew moves it forward as it's intended for Turner. Kept in the line by maybe as he'll play it around. Alves first to it. Alves dances around Goulet. It's moved down low for Marks. Played to the point. The ball across the line. Maybe backdoor feed for Marks. Couldn't get the shot on target. Farmer. He'll get across center. Across the line. Turner over the middle. Turner fires a shot just off the side. Moved right up front. McLeish's shot turned away by Pettipies. He'll be played back down to the corner and covered up at the side by Pettipies, and looked like a little bit of extra acting from the Wolves goaltender. Not going to draw a call. Pettipies, a fantastic goaltender in this tournament, looking to potentially contend for an Emmy Award. 7:36 to go here in the second. North Shore on the attack. Shots 16-13 in favor of the Wolves. Debut on the draw. One back, Kinchin. Back ends it through. Chance in tight. Pettipies gets low enough to deny the chance for Debut. Puck high out and off the roof here at the Angus Glen Community Centre as we'll do it again from Waterloo territory. The OHF is pleased to partner with HTG Sports Services as its exclusive accommodation services provider. HTG is committed to providing support services for athletes, teams, and communities across Ontario. Miller rings that one around as it's moved up the middle for Smith, knocked down by Debut. North Shore on side as Sandiford will shuffle it forward into the offensive end. Nirizil behind the goal. He'll work it out the other way. Gets across center and fires it in deep. He scored the second goal of the gold medal game as Sinclair gets bumped off the puck by Debut. Tie up behind the goal line as Forwell works it free. Forwell to the front. Shuffle shot. Rebound chance. Sinclair bouncing around puck. Controlled by Smith. He'll play it around as Forwell up at the point. Bouncing puck. Controlled. Smith can't get the shot off. Debut ties him up. Sheridan to Hutchings. Long flip out. Knocked down by Humphreys. It's slapped back in the offensive end. A big hit laid by Sandiford in neutral. Bluin looking to move the puck out as he's knocked down. Humphrey from the side of the goal moves to the slot, knocked down as Debut will work it out the other way. A nice toe drag around to escape the line as Sandiford. Debut gets hammered behind the play by Fast. Nirizil will leave it off for Miller. Nathan Miller across the red line. He'll leave it off for Hallman as it trickles into the offensive end. Goulet around the boards, controlled by Humphrey. Down low for Arsenault as it's played around for Goulet. Long lead feed up for Calorie. He'll leave it off Debut across the line. Debut, great move in tight. Shot on, turned away by Pettipies. Blake Debut, a fantastic move into the offensive end. Here's the last look at it. The toe drag, fake move. Fake gets through Howell. Doesn't get a crisp shot off. That one will be denied by Pettipies. Blake Debut been fantastic for the Whitecaps over the last 4 games. He has 6 points and 4 goals. Farmer rings it around the boards as it's Kept in the line. Callery looks to move it down low, but can't squeeze it through a sea of black shirts. Marks will fire it into the offensive end. Big bounce off the dashers. Arniotis has to come way out of his goal to cover up. Lucian Arniotis has the fresh legs over goaltending partner Cam Ryan. He's also got big game experience. He played in the semifinal game against the Ajax Pickering Raiders, backstopping them to a win. Him and Ryan have switched all season long. Marks moves it forward. Marks right off the draw. Toe drag shot. Couldn't get a clean look off as Howard will move it out the other way. McLeish looking to tap it forward as it bounces straight up, and Longo plays it into the offensive end. 5:09 to play here in the second. Strauss will control behind his own net. He'll work it out in transition. Long lead feed tipped in the offensive end by Marks. Arsenault battling with him. Moved right over the slot, taken away by McLeish. McLeish to the outside. He'll backhand it as he takes a check from Marks. Longo goes in. As it's tied up behind the goal. Jam play at the side will be worked out by Marks. He has the puck taken away by McLeish, but fired into the offensive end. Arniotis will play it. Waterloo going for the wholesale change. Goulet being pressured by Sinclair. They'll just swing it back behind for Drew as he's got to play it between the feet. Sinclair bearing down on the two Whitecaps defensemen. Ball, he gets checked by Kulababa as he looks to play it through. This will be taken away by Alves. Alves gets a center and he takes a big hit before firing it into the offensive end. Arniotis around the boards, but played it right to Sinclair. Down low Forwell from a sharp angle. He'll throw it right on net, turned away by Arniotis as that one's up into the netting and out of play. 3:49 remains in the second. As a proud partner, the Hockey Hall of Fame provides players of the game for all championship games. The Hall, home of the Stanley Cup and hockey at its best. Debut and Humphrey on the draw. Puck will move back to the point as it clears the line. The North Shore Whitecaps in their second year of existence as a franchise. The Oshawa Generals and Clarington Toros amalgamating to form the North Shore Whitecaps as they look for their first U18 championship. Ball takes behind the goal. Puck moved up ice as Bluin will send it right back into the offensive end. Ball waits. 3:10 and ticking on the clock as he'll move it out. Strauss, lead feed over the middle. It's knocked down and Sheridan's got to hustle as Young bearing down on him. That one tipped out of the zone as Hutchings back on the attack. Hutchings across the line. Hutchings will fire it back in deep. Glove down by Pettipies and he'll quickly play it out. Niarzel waits. He'll take it up ice. To the outside, back across the middle. Miller looks to chip it forward as Sheridan laying the check. Fast across the line. Has the puck knocked off his stick by Jackman. As Jackman will move it up for Farmer, but he can't control as Jackman's into the offensive end. Trying to move it forward as it's taken away by the Wolves and flipped back out to neutral. Goulet gets taken in the boards by Hallman as Farmer's able to clear the line. It's played right back in as Arniotis will leave for Arsenault. Arsenault looking for the long lead feed over the middle as it's scooped up by Turner. Turner across the red line. Across the blue line in the offensive end. Shot from Turner turned away by Pettipies. Goulet, long shot in, misses wide of the target. Waterloo in transition. Has a big takedown by Fast. Farmer a chance the other way. Farmer in alone. He's hauled down. And it's a penalty shot in the gold medal game. Patrick Farmer hauled down on the breakaway, and he'll get a chance all alone with Finn Pettipies. Patrick Farmer, the Whitby, Ontario native. 1 goal in the championship. 11 on the regular season. He'll take it to the left. He'll move it to the middle. Quick burst. He scores! Patrick Farmer! Penalty shot goal! And the Whitecaps cut into the lead. Beautiful finish from Farmer. All the way to the North Shore bench, back over the middle. The quick hands in front of Pettipies. And he slides it between the 5-hole. North Shore trails by 1. Drew, he gets hammered into the boards. Penalty upcoming. Bonneville to the box. North Shore to the power play. Holding the call, and Bonneville is irate. He's got to be careful. Let's go Whitecaps chance breaking out at the Angus Glen Community Centre. North Shore to the power play for the first time tonight. They're 3 for 38 on the week. Waterloo's penalty kill, 22 of 28. As we're underway, Longo takes it with a burst of speed, has it knocked off his stick and cleared back to the North Shore zone. 1:20 to play here in the second. Drew calling the shots as he starts directing traffic. Drew to the far side for Longo. It's moved up but sent right back down by Maybe. Last minute of play here in the second. Farmer across the red lines. He fires it in, but he gets hammered by Forwell. Be moved around the goal as Longo's going to be first to it. He's got to hustle. Forwell bearing down on him. He'll just play it to the corner. Ball slaps it around. Jackman can't hold the line. Arnie Otis doesn't act on the puck as Forwell takes it into the boards. Longo rams into him. Forwell looking to pin it up. Jackman picks it free. 27 seconds to play here in the second. Longo across the red line, across the blue line. He'll take it into the offensive end. Backhand feed over the middle will be clear to the line again. North Shore not getting comfortable here on the power play. 10 seconds to go in the second period. Jackman across the line with a burst of speed to the outside as the puck knocked off his stick. Tries to center it to the front of the goal as Strauss will pin it. And that will do it for the second period of play here in the gold medal game of the U18 AAA Central Region Championship. Score after 2 periods, the Waterloo Wolves lead 2-1, but Patrick Farmer cut into that lead with the penalty shot goal. 20 minutes to play from the Angus Glen Community Centre. A trip to the TELUS Cup on the line. You don't want to go anywhere. You're watching on the Ontario Hockey Federation's YouTube channel. U18 AAA Central Region Championship. It's medal day.
That's gonna do it! The North Shore Whitecaps to the gold medal game!
And the Waterloo Wolves have punched their ticket to the gold medal game. They've got a date with the Whitecaps tomorrow. Final score, the Wolves win by a margin of 6-2.
For the first time, got something to call mine. Oh, I need someone to talk to right here, right now. Oh, we are on our way, starting today.
This building, this province, and these fan bases
Canada's
are
best men's under 18 club teams come to Peterborough this spring for the 2026 TELUS Cup. Who will follow in the footsteps of the greats that have come before? Catch all the action live from April 20th to 26th at the Peterborough Memorial Centre. Tickets are available now at hockeycanada.ca/TELUS Cup.
I love hockey. I always have since I was a kid, and the first shift is what got me into playing hockey.
In 2014, Hockey Canada and Bauer set out to create a program that would help introduce hockey to new-to-hockey families across the country. This program is called the First Shift. More than 10 years ago, Tim laced up the skates for the first time ever through a First Shift program in Scarborough.
Back in 2014, my parents first heard about the First Shift program through one of the local community centers. My parents immigrated to Canada several decades ago. They actually didn't know anything about hockey, even when we started. My siblings and I, we would watch it on YouTube, we would listen to the games on the radio, but we didn't really know much about how the game was played. And because of this First Shift program, we actually learned a lot about hockey. Without it, I don't believe that we would have been playing on the ice. Trying on hockey equipment for the first time was a very exciting experience. I'd only seen hockey equipment on the professionals and seen them on the ice, seen clips of them. Putting all the gear on, it was like I was one of them. Something that I remember most about the First Shift, the welcome event, was how overwhelming it was. All the gear, all the people. I really didn't know what was going on, but the fit experts were very professional. They knew what they were doing. They walked us through everything, and just the excitement afterwards is something that really stuck with me. Something that still stands out to me from that first experience is the coaches. Stepping out onto the ice for the first time was very exhilarating. I was a bit nervous, but the coaches, they took care of those nerves right away. And after that, it was just fun. After the First Shift, what kept me involved in hockey was the sanctioned minor program, the Scarborough Ice Raiders. I played with them for several years. First Shift means a lot to me personally. It kind of shaped my life growing up, because without this program, I wouldn't have gotten into hockey. Without hockey, I don't think I would be the kind of person I am. Being able to play on a team, work with teammates, day in, day out, build that sense of community is something that shaped my life throughout.
Having great fit experts is outstanding. They are the heart and soul of this program. Having experts such as Tim convey their love of the game and their expert advice on equipment fitting reassures family and begins their hockey journey in the best possible way.
It feels awesome to give back to the program that started my hockey journey. I'm very grateful to First Shift, and I'm grateful to be back here and be able to be on the other side, give back to other kids, give back to my community. So something that I would say to a family that's considering the First Shift program is that it's absolutely worth it. You're getting a full set of gear and ice time at such an affordable cost. You're also getting memories that your child will be able to carry with them through the rest of your life. It's something that you'll never forget.
I had a really rough year, obviously. It kind of brought some light to what had happened to me, and
You know, it was really perseverance in the face of adversity. Non-hockey related injury, but one of significance.
Getting the news that he had the fractures, and it was a compression fracture, and him not being able to move, and just waiting for the news to see if he needed surgery or if he was going to be able to walk, if it had hit any nerves. It was frightening.
It was hard, but what motivated me was the support I had around me. I felt like I couldn't fail.
With Dominic, he didn't walk away from hockey through his recovery. He continued to participate as best he could.
Hockey's taught me you got to do the hard thing, because usually the hard thing is the right thing to do. That perseverance, just pushing yourself through hard things, and it's helped shape the values of my whole personnel overall.
Today, everybody's busy. And to see young people like Dominic with the opportunity to set aside time to contribute to community is very important.
I want kids to have the same experience I had when I was a kid. I went to Knights games when I was younger, and you come home with a mini stick or a puck, and it's like the best thing ever. I think a lot of people bond over hockey and what it's given to them, so I want to give the same to the future youth.
Having a scholarship program, it just allows us to recognize some of those individuals that have just taken that to the next level.
I mean, I cried. I was super proud of him being recognized for such an amazing award.
Obviously, I wasn't able to work for about 6 months. It's helped me and my family a lot, just paying for school and it being less of a burden.
It's not about just developing a hockey player. It's about developing good citizens.
So that specific shooting drill that we were working on today is to help give them those extra shooting techniques so that in a game-like situation, they're not just using one or two, they've got multiple ways of being able to shoot the puck. Not only does that make it more difficult for the defenseman to defend, but also for that goaltender to not only track it, but making sure that they're able to square up on the puck as well. So just helps them become more of that lethal player that they're looking for at that elite level.
Out here, we're working on a lot of transitioning, walking the blue line, puck retrievals. Lots of that has to do with being able to take good angles to pucks, good routes to pucks, being able to shoulder check, being able to execute some deception. There's a setup, there's a trap, there's a payoff to every move. So making sure that the players are understanding the process in how to identify danger, identify options, and how to misdirect players under a stressful environment.
So a lot of our focus points here at the Program of Excellence Under 15 is going to be helping the goaltenders a lot with their preparation before the shot. Things like leading with the eyes, scanning the ice before they make their movements, being able to put themselves into the right places at the right times, and ultimately set themselves up for success when the shot comes off the stick. We're also going to be tying in a couple small technical areas where we're talking about a lot of sequencing in their movement, about how the body is supposed to operate from the top of the head down into their skates in order to generate that real strong and effective movement.
U18 AAA Central Region Championship. It's medal day.
That's gonna do it! The North Shore Whitecaps to the gold medal game!
And the Waterloo Wolves have punched their ticket to the gold medal game. They've got a date with the Whitecaps tomorrow. Final score, the Wolves win by a margin of 6-2. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for third period action in the gold medal game of the Central Region Championship between the Waterloo Wolves and the North Shore Whitecaps. It's been a fantastic game through 40 minutes of play. The Wolves with a slim 2-1 lead. Through 40 minutes of play, shot 17-15 in favor of Waterloo. As here's a look at the action from earlier. The first period, the opening goal, Emery Alves made it 1-0. And then on the power play, a slick pass from Young across the slot, finding Jackson Nearizel. Wide open from the point, he blasted past Arnie Otis, giving the Wolves a 2-0 lead. And then it was Patrick Farmer on the penalty shot. All the way to the near side, the quick burst in front. Sliding it 5-hole between the legs of Finn Pettipies. Both goaltenders been phenomenal to this point. What does the third period hold? The Whitecaps will start on the power play. 31 seconds remain on the man advantage as the Waterloo Wolves are welcomed back to the ice with loud cheers coming from the fan section. It's a packed house here in the Angus Glen Community Centre on Championship Day. The gold medals to be awarded, and a trip to the TELUS Cup on the line. The Wolves undefeated throughout the week, a perfect 6-0. The Whitecaps started the week shaky, 0-2, but as Tyler Turka said, they had all the belief in the world, weren't getting the puck luck. They rattled off 4 consecutive wins, and now 1 period away. Wolves lead 2-1. Fast against Abu on the opening draw for third period action of the gold medal game. It's underway. Drew will take it all the way back behind his own goal. He'll push with pace with 20 seconds to play on the power play. Drew across the line, he'll hit the brakes, move it over the middle of the ice. Drew near side Longo, down low Dabu. Up top, Sheridan just holds the line. Fires shot through, tipped in front, bashing away to Pettipies, gets the cover. As maybe will escort Longo out gently as a stick shattered right off the opening draw. A quick chance for the Whitecaps on the power play. A jam play at the side, but couldn't fight the puck free as Pettipies, the Guelph, Ontario native, jumping on the loose one. Forwell on the draw. 5 seconds left on the power play as it's tied up and will be worked out. Ball sends it down the length as it's taken by Goulet. We are even. Forwell with it. Ball moves it forward as it's scooped up by Bonneville. Bonneville across the line to the outside. He fires the shot on, turned away by Arnie Otis as Fast goes sliding through the zone. McLeish off the glass and out to center. Strauss, long lead feet, he'll touch it for Forwell. Forwell to the outside, tries to get around the check as he's knocked to the ice. The leading scorer in the tournament taken down. Bonneville moves it forward as it's into the corner. Forwell laying the check on Arsenault as it's in the corner. Up to the point, across the line. Strauss dangles through. He walks in, fires a shot wide of the target. Rebound chance at the side, goes right through the blue paint. Up to the point, Strauss across the line. Alves, he'll work downhill, up top, long shot in, blocked in front. Howard clears the line. Back out to neutral as Strauss will leave it off Alves. Alves gets taken down from behind. McLeish giving him a check in the back. Howell near side, Strauss. Kicked into the offensive end as Sheridan to the far side. Hackett right up the middle as Farmer deflects it in deep. Strauss knocking it down. Farmer taking Humphrey into the boards as it's played into the offensive end. Howell, he gets taken down. Call up coming. Delayed penalty and Farmer to the box. He'll plead his case. Tripping the call against the lone goal scorer for the Whitecaps. Here's the replay look of it. Howell taking it to the outside and Farmer wiping out there. Taking down Howell. Judgment call as 2 minutes in the period. Waterloo to the power play. They're 1 for 3 on the night. Ball at the point. Swings it across near side. Maybe. Long pass across. Up and out of play into the North Shore bench.
2 minutes, 3 seconds. Farmer 2 for tripping at 2:03.
1:50 to go on the man advantage. It was the second unit. Jackson Near-Ezel capitalizing on the power play last time out. Waterloo looking to reinstate the 2-goal lead as Ball has it up high. He'll work down low to the corner, up top over the middle for Maybe. He'll work it to the left flank. Forwell down low, looking for Humphrey but couldn't connect. Maybe on the right point. He swings it down low as it's pinned off, but return feed up high. Ball down low, looking for Humphrey. It's knocked down in the middle, and North Shore clears the zone. All the way back down. Pettipiece leaves it off Ball. North Shore gets a wholesale change. Ball into the neutral zone as he dangles around 2. He'll hit the brakes. Starts working downhill. He'll leave it off. Forwell over the middle. Forwell backdoor feed at the side of the goal. They score! Eli Humphrey! 3-1 Waterloo! Eli Humphrey, his 5th goal of the week. Ball just leaving it off for Forwell. Forwell, a perfect saucer pass on the back door. Humphrey fires it home on the one-timer. And the Wolves lead 3-1. Drew to the far side. Hutchings back on side. He'll take it to the outside. Hutchings driving the goal. Nearly gets taken out as he's ran into the boards by Near-Ezel. Hobson chips it out. Turner controls. Drew over the middle. It's knocked down by Hutchings as Hobson gives a high check to Hutchings, and that's going to be a call. Head contact. The penalty against Hobson. Here's a live look at the YouTube poll. Who do you think's gonna win? The Waterloo Wolves with the fan support, 59%. The Whitecaps with a hill to climb. Here with 16:33 to play. Down by 2, but to the power play. Faceoff will be won back and controlled by Drew. Jackman to Longo. Longo moves it forward, bouncing puck, controlled by Strauss and down the length of the ice. That one jumps the stick of Arnie Otis as Fast bearing down on Drew. He'll leave it up for Farmer as Farmer will spin it back in his own end. Farmer building up speed through the neutral zone. He'll take it over the middle, controlled by McLeish. He fires a shot blocked in front by Howell, bouncing puck controlled by the Whitecaps. Drew at the point, moves it down for Farmer. He has trouble with it in his feet as Farmer up to the point, Drew. He'll work it over the middle. Jackman, a one-time shot blocked in front by Bonneville and cleared down the length of the ice. Quick change for the Whitecaps power play. Wholesale change for the Wolves penalty kill. 1:04 to go in the power play. Drew behind his own net. Near side Longo. Across the line, he'll ring it all the way around. Forwell on the attack as it comes loose for Farmer. He tries to fight it free as it's clear to the line again. Sheridan's got to hustle. Forwell bearing down on him. Forwell takes him behind the goal and ramps Sheridan into the boards. Stick comes free for Forwell. A penalty upcoming. He takes the man down. And Forwell to the box, holding the call. 5-on-3 for the Whitecaps. Forwell lost control of the stick and ends up grabbing at the jersey. Pulls the man to the ground. And the leading score for the Wolves to the box for 2 minutes. 5-on-3 for 31 seconds. Bonneville and Farmer on the draw. Tied up, controlled by North Shore. Kinchin to the point for Drew. He'll work it downhill. Drew to Kinchin. Toe drag shot tipped in front wide of the target. Drew can't hold the line. It just escapes. 15 seconds left on the first penalty. Drew will work it back across the line. He'll hit the brakes at the hash marks. Move it up for Kinchin. Kinchin downhill. Farmer from a sharp angle. Up top, Drew. Kinchin, a one-time blast turned away by the right pad. And it's cleared the line down the length of the ice. Drew will wait behind his own goal. He'll work it out for the Whitecaps. To the near side, Farmer. Makes a nice move, but stopped up at the line as Fast will take it the other way. A short-handed fast break for Fast as he gets taken down nearly into the goal, but he's able to redirect the body. Sheridan across the line to the outside. Checked off the puck, but back on in the corner. Centering pass as it's taken by Hackett. He'll fire a toe shot. Rebound chance in front. Clear to the line and down the length of the ice. Arnie Otis leaves it off Turner. 40 seconds to go on the power play. Sheridan to the near side off the skate. Nerizel controls and fires it down. Arnie Otis leaves for Debut. Debut with a burst of speed. Maybe one last chance here for the power play as Debut gets hauled down. Bonneville to the outside, and now a shorthanded break for the Wolves as Bonneville gets taken down. Smith across the line. He'll wait. Just pin it to the boards as 7 seconds left on the power play, and the Wolves survive the 5-on-3. Forwell back to the ice. We're back to even strength. North Shore 0 for 3 on the power play. McLeish takes it into the zone. Burst of speed to the back end. Drives the goal. Couldn't pull the trigger. To the point. Long shot by Arsenault. Howard moves in front. Rebound chance. Great save by Pettipies. He turns away Turner. Pettipies pulls the goal back on its moorings. As Miller will move it up ice. Deflected down as Forwell has his stick knocked out of his hand, and McLeish gets taken down. Call upcoming. Delayed penalty against Waterloo. 6-on-5 for the time being. Hackett behind the goal. Alves will press as he escapes and moves it up ice. Farmer to the outside, tries to cycle it forward, still on possession of it. Not tagged up by Waterloo, finally is. As the penalty will be called. North Shore back to the power play, tripping the call. 3 straight penalties for the Wolves here in the third. It'll be Alves headed to the box. North Shore's power play now 3 for 41 on the week. Slight personnel change as Hackett takes Drew's spot on the first unit. Ball will fire it down the length of the ice to start the power play. Sheridan takes behind the goal. He'll work it through the neutral zone.
Alves tripping at 7:57.
Cleared right back down the length of the ice. Hackett to it first. 1:30 to go on the power play. 11:30 to go in the third. Right up the middle, Debu across the line onside. Debu, a nice move towards the goal. Right in the slot, bounce it back, they score! Max Hutchings! Power play goal, and it's 3-2! Debu with the fantastic move in the offensive end to get around fast. The quick pass to the slot. Hutchings on target, and it squeaks by Petapese. 1-goal game once again. 11:22 to play in the third. Young to the outside. It's kicked forward and into the offensive end. Arnie Otis out to slow it up. Arsenault around the near side. Smith shovels it to the front of the goal. Arsenault. Bouncing puck up the middle, knocked down by Forwell as he'll shovel it forward for Smith. Backhand feed is knocked down, Arnie Otis. Centering feed, can't get it through to Forwell as the Whitecaps look to go in transition. It'll be slapped forward by Callery. McLeish against Strauss in the offensive end. McLeish gets free, tries to jam it home on the short side. I think it was blocked by Braxton Howard, his teammate. Drew chops at it, keeps it in the zone, but Young works it to the weak side as Smith will poke it forward into the offensive end. Sheridan behind the goal. He'll work it out. Sheridan across the blue line. He'll move over the middle, fires a shot. Stopped by Petapese. Nearheisel screaming at the official. He's some frustrated. With the Whitecaps crashing the goal. 10:20 to play in the third. We'd like to say thank you to our partners for supporting today's event. Special recognition goes to Milk, a proud partner of the U18 AAA Central Region Championships. Dairy Farmers of Ontario are proud to support young athletes and encourage healthy, active lifestyles. Jackman and Humphrey on the draw. To the right of Petapese. Jackman wins it clean. Drew at the point. Saucers it forward, looking for Hackett. One-time shot, rebound chance at the side of the goal. Farmer bashing away at it. Couldn't get it through the stick of Nearheisel. Hobson can't clear the line. Humphrey will get it free. Jackman slashing away at it, trying to get back in the zone as he'll control. Tap forward as the tie-up is broken up, held at the line. Hackett bouncing, keeps it in. Drew works downhill, sharp angle, rebound chance as Humphrey will clear it away. He gets it out of the line as no icing the call. It'll slow up right before the goal line. Hackett long feed intended for Sandiford, waiting at the Waterloo blue line. Tie up right in front of the timekeeper's bench as Humphrey will work it free. Humphrey in on the offensive attack to the backhand, over the middle, can't get it through. Hallman to the front of the goal. He'll take it around for a skate. He gets tied up by Drew. As Drew will move it the other way. Drew, a nice move to get away from one. Drew across the line. He looks to take it 1-on-5. As he'll just slap it on goal. Rebound chance. It was knocked down by the glove, but cleared quickly by Ball. Long home run shot. Marks with a chance. He fires. Turned away by Arnie Otis. Looking for the quick rebound chance out in front. He'll be cleared away from danger, but held at the line. Spinning like a top across the blue line. It comes out to neutral as here comes Farmer across the line. Farmer to the outside. Fires a shot. Blocked away by Petapese. Hallman gets the center and fires it in deep. It's knocked down by the glove of Arsenault. Across the line. It'll bounce all the way back to Waterloo territory where Maybe scoops it up. Maybe moves it forward. Huge hit. Penalty upcoming. Hutchings doesn't agree, boarding the call. Waterloo to the power play. They are 2 for 4 tonight. They are 16 of 35 on the week. 8:25 to go in the third. The ever so dangerous Waterloo power play back to work. This one can't be cleared as Ball hangs in. Ball swings it over for maybe. Down low, Forwell across the line as Humphrey's one-time shot misses wide.
11:35.
It clears the line and comes all the way back. Long lead feed into the offensive end as Forwell takes, looking for the backdoor feed through for Marks as it jumps his stick. Maybe down low for Humphrey, rings it around. Forwell on the sidewall up top. Maybe a long shot in front. Rebound chances cleared behind the goal line as North Shore looks to work it out. Glove down by Ball. What a save at the blue line. Maybe fires a shot, blocked it in front. As Humphrey will take it to the sideboards. He gets hammered on the near side. Ball working downhill. Diving effort by Howard. Up top to the point. Reset here. Maybe to Ball. Waits. Fires a shot blocked in front by Howard. Forwell on the near side. Over the middle. Walks downhill. It's wide of the goal. Humphrey tries the jam play at the side. He scores! Eli Humphrey, his second of the game, makes it 4-2 Wolves. Humphrey just sticking with it. Arnie Otis couldn't get the foot on the post. As Tyler Turcotte having a conversation with the officials. Arnie Otis having an issue with the pad. Eli Humphrey, his second goal of the game, his sixth goal of the Central Region Championship. And it makes the lead 2 once again. Humphrey with 2 third-period power play goals. The Waterloo power play now 3 for 5. As I think Arnie Otis might be having an injury issue. Here's another look. Big bounce off the end boards, and it was a long stretch across for Arnie Otis in an awkward position.
Second of the game, score number 57, Eli Humphrey. Assisted by number 16, Christopher Maybe, and 13, Michael Ball. Time of goal, 12 minutes, 51 seconds. Humphrey from Maybe and Ball at 12:51.
I think our PA announcer, Ed Matthews, had it right the first time. It looked like the assist would go to Forwell there. However, the assist for the time being to Ball and Maybe. Michael Ball having a phenomenal championship tournament. 3 goals and 11 assists. 14 points on the week for the defenseman from Waterloo. He had 37 points on the back end this season in the Alliance. Here's a look at the last goal for the Whitecaps. Debut with a fantastic move around fast. Able to move it right to the slot. And Hutchings didn't get all of it there. He got enough to get it by Pettipies. Looked like Pettipies kind of got himself there as the shot was just trickling along the ground. But he kind of ramped it up with his stick up and over the pad. As Arnie Otis having some difficulties with the skate or something attaching onto the pad, it appears. Lucien Arnie Otis the Aurora, Ontario native. 10-6 record in the OMHA this season. The Whitecaps were the number 2 team in the regular season in the OMHA, behind the Ajax Pickering Raiders. But it was Arnie Otis who backstopped them to a victory in the semifinals over the Raiders to propel them to the final against the Waxers. What a bounce back it was for the Whitecaps this week. Losing the first 2 games, being outscored 4-0 in those games. Since then, a 6-4 win over Ottawa, a 3-1 win over Markham, a 6-2 win over North Bay, and a 3-2 win over Toronto in the semis. The Waterloo Wolves, on the other end, started the tournament with a bang. It was a 7-6 overtime victory over Ottawa Myers Automotive, followed up by the 2-0 win over these Whitecaps. Then it was a 9-1 win where the power play went 5 for 7 in that game over the North Bay Trappers, followed up by an exciting overtime win over the Toronto Titans, which saw leading scorer Zach Forwell ejected from the game, followed by back-to-back wins over the Markham Waxers, 5-4 and 6-2. We're ready to get back to action here as Forwell against Jackman on the draw. 7 minutes to play here in the third. Waterloo a 2-goal lead. We've seen them have some issues with big leads in this tournament, but they've still remained perfect throughout. 6-0, looking to make it 7. Bonneville into the offensive end as Sheridan scoops up the loose puck first. Sheridan will scurry back away from danger as long lead feed from Hackett is into the offensive end, and it will go for an icing call with 6:32 to play in the third. Gatorade, the official sports nutrition beverage of the U18 AAA Central Region Championships, fueling athlete hydration and recovery to keep performance at its peak throughout the championship. Shots even at 23 apiece with 6:32 to play. North Shore averaging 31.3 shots a game. Waterloo, the most in the tournament, averaging 37.2. So when chipped out long for Farmer as he'll beat out the icing call. Tries to tap it around as Pettipies couldn't dive on the bouncing puck through the blue paint. Miller, he'll hold behind the goal. Nathan Miller, the Wyerton, Ontario native, trying to get away from Longo. Be moved up ice. No icing the call as he'll trickle behind the goal line. Drew works it through neutral. Across the blue line to the outside. Backhand shovel pass across into the feet of Deboo. Drew with a big hit on Humphrey as Smith scoops up the loose puck. Miller over the middle as Farmer will take. Farmer into the offensive end, to the outside, fires a shot on the short side, wide of the goal. Drew, a quick firing shot from the point, blocked by Nirazel, and it's flipped out of the zone. Hallman looking to track it down first. He'll hit the brakes as he gets the puck stripped away from him. Drew goes behind the goal. He'll wait behind Arne Otis as Deboo up for Hutchings. Waterloo's bench wanting a too-many call, not going to get one. It's moved up quickly for Hallman, just on side. The pass was intended for maybe a bouncing puck. Batted down by Fast and into the offensive end. Hallman, backdoor feed, looking for Forwell, couldn't fit it through. Hutchings has that stripped away. Forwell moves it forward. It's taken away by Sheridan. He has the stick lifted into the offensive end. Gets the puck back. Sheridan to the goal. He gets tackled to the ground. Penalty upcoming against Waterloo. Hutchings gives a shove to Hallman as holding the call, and Forwell a slash in the back of the legs of Sheridan. Looks like the ref said U2 go as ball is going for sure for the hold. We'll see what else comes of it as it appears nothing. Just ball to the box. North Shore to the power play for the 5th time. McLeish talking with the official. I think he wanted a call on Forwell behind the play. The two-hand hack to the back of the leg went unseen by the official. So North Shore power play, they're 1 for 4 on the night. Sinclair and Debu on the draw. Pays off one back by Sinclair as Howell will take it away. He can't get the puck out clean as it's held in at the line by Farmer.
Penalty number 13, Michael Ball, 2 minutes for holding. Penalty 15 minutes, 22 seconds.
Farmer
Ball,
up high.
2 for holding at 15.
Goes to the goal line,
22.
fired. Rebound chance. Jam play at the side of the goal, and it's cleared out all the way down to North Shore territory. 4:14 to go in the third. You wonder when Tyler Turcott will make the call to pull Arnianis. Longo across the line, rings it around the boards. Sinclair to it first. Trying to work the puck free, a bouncing puck. We knocked down by Bonneville as Sheridan lays the check on him, but the puck cleared down the length of the ice. Taboo will leave it off for Sheridan. Sheridan picks up from his own end. Gets across the red line and will ring it around the boards. Forwell there first, but he gets stick lifted by Farmer into the corner. Farmer up to the point, no one there. And it's cleared back to the red line. Turcott will go for some changes. Changing up the personnel here on the power play. Forwell gets wrestled to the ground. I think both sides wanted a call there in the crowd. As Hackett takes it across the line. North Shore with numbers to the outside. Hackett behind the goal. Tries to center it, but he's back on the puck. Hackett takes it up to the point. 30 seconds to go on the man advantage. Long shot in, up and over the target. Rebound change to the side. They score! Ethan McLeish on the big bounce from behind the goal. And North Shore makes it a 1-goal game again. Ethan McLeish, his 2nd goal of the championship. Couldn't have come at a bigger time. The big bounce off the backboard. Petapese had no clue where it was. And McLeish taps it home. North Shore to within 1 with 3 minutes to play in the gold medal game. Maybe scoops it up. He'll get to the red line and fire it in deep. That one jumps the stick of Arnianis. McLeish moves it forward. Feed over the middle as it's in the feet of Sandiford.
And number 73, Ethan Jackman. Time the goal, 16 minutes, 57 seconds. McLeish from Hackett and Jackman at 16:57.
Hackett picks up his 4th assist of the week. And for Jackman, he picks up his 4th as well. 2:44 to play in the third. Humphrey and Debu on the draw. Big hit on the far side laid by Hutchings as Debu goes for the pin. He'll try and work it below the goal line as the puck will be worked free by Humphrey. Kept it on the line by Drew. Between the legs pass. Left off at the point as Goulet couldn't get a clean shot off. Alves works it up. Drew holds the line. He'll move towards the goal line as Drew fends off one man. Miller without a stick. Up to the point. Long shot in the blue paint. Puck's loose at the side of the goal. Hutchings couldn't tap it home. Humphrey sends it down the length of the ice. That will go for an icing call as Waterloo won't be able to get fresh legs out there. 2:07 to play in the third. North Shore looking for the fresh legs to find the equalizer. Timeout will be called for Waterloo. Excuse me, timeout for North Shore. As they will regroup here. We'll see if Arnianis comes to the bench now or if they want to wait. Here's a look at the replay of the last goal for the Whitecaps. Hackett took it all the way to the point. Found himself a shooting lane, fired it high of the target. Pettipies looked to the left first, and McLeish tapped it home. Hackett, great possession time as he took it all the way around for a skate. Mirazel couldn't get there first as McLeish tapped it home. Arnie Otis playing high. He's at the high circles. We remain 5-on-5 for the time being. Face-off controlled. Sheridan. Arnie Otis to the bench. 6-on-5 for the Whitecaps. Farmer up high. Sheridan fires a shot blocked in front. Controlled by DeBoo as he'll work it up to the line. Sheridan fans on the pass across. He waits. Smith in front of him to Drew up high. Return feed Sheridan over the middle. Fires a shot off the backboard. Rebound in the blue paint. Trying to scramble it home. DeBoo contains on the far side. Down low Longo for DeBoo. Up high for Farmer. He'll work it across the blue line. Over to Sheridan. Looking for the one time. Couldn't pull it off. Down low Drew. He's got space to walk in. Moves it right over the middle as he'll come free to Farmer at the point. Farmer gets away from Sinclair. He'll spin it back. Sheridan fires the shot. Turned away. Blocked in front as DeBoo knocks it down with a glove. Trying to fight it free. 1:08 to play. Up to the point. Sheridan fires the shot. Misses wide of the target and scooped up by Farmer. Sheridan. DeBoo. Last minute. They score! Tapped in front! And the game is tied! They fought it all the way back. Farmer to the point, to Sheridan, the long shot in front. The scrappy Whitecaps keep punching away. 57.4 remains in regulation. Arnie Otis rings it around the boards. Ball, he'll take. Walks it through the neutral zone.
19 minutes, 3 seconds. DeBoo from Longo at 19:03.
DeBoo from Longo, the official wording on the goal as that one will hit the roof and cause a stoppage with 30.8 to play here in the third. For Blake DeBoo, his 5th goal in the last 5 games. Forwell and McLeish on the neutral zone draw. He'll be slapped at and behind the goal. Maybe on it. 22 seconds to play in the third. Maybe has no plans to rush it up ice. Maybe one last push here. Ball with it to the outside. He'll get it to Red and fire it in deep. It's turned to the corner by McLeish. Goulet will wait. He'll just pin it up against the boards. 5 seconds left. Goulet looking happy to take it to overtime. And that is exactly where we will be going. The gold medal game decided by overtime.
Intermission, followed by a 20-minute sudden death 3-on-3 overtime period.
If you heard that from Ed Matthews, we will go to a third intermission. Up next, 20 minutes of 3-on-3 play for a trip to the TELUS Cup. Score after 60 minutes. North Shore 4, Waterloo 4. And we'll catch you right back here for overtime action. You do not want to go anywhere. You're watching on the Ontario Hockey Federation's YouTube channel. AAA Central Region Championship. It's medal day.
That's gonna do it! The North Door Whitecaps to the gold medal game!
And the Waterloo Wolves have punched their ticket to the gold medal game. They've got a date with the Whitecaps tomorrow. Final score, the Wolves win by a margin of 6-2.
For the first time, got something to call mine. Oh, I need someone to talk to. Right here, right now. Oh, we are on the way. Starting today.
This building, this province, and these fan bases
Canada's
are
best men's under 18 club teams come to Peterborough this spring for the 2026 TELUS Cup. Who will follow in the footsteps of the greats that have come before? Catch all the action live from April 20th to 26th at the Peterborough Memorial Centre. Tickets are available now at hockeycanada.ca/TELUS Cup.
I love hockey. I always have since I was a kid. And the first shift is what got me into playing hockey.
In 2014, Hockey Canada and Bauer set out to create a program that would help introduce hockey to new-to-hockey families across the country. This program is called the First Shift. More than 10 years ago, Tim laced up the skates for the first time ever through a First Shift program in Scarborough.
Back in 2014, my parents first heard about the First Shift program through one of the local community centers. My parents immigrated to Canada several decades ago. They actually didn't know anything about hockey, even when we started. My siblings and I, we would watch it on YouTube, we would listen to the games on the radio, but we didn't really know much about how the game was played. And because of this First Shift program, we actually learned a lot about hockey. Without it, I don't believe that we would have been playing on the ice. Trying on hockey equipment for the first time was a very exciting experience. I'd only seen hockey equipment on the professionals and seen them on the ice, seen clips of them. Putting all the gear on, it was like I was one of them. Something that I remember most about the First Shift, the welcome event, was how overwhelming it was. All the gear, all the people. I really didn't know what was going on, but the fit experts were very professional. They knew what they were doing. They walked us through everything, and just the excitement afterwards is something that really stuck with me. Something that still stands out to me from that first experience is the coaches. Stepping out onto the ice for the first time was very exhilarating. I was a bit nervous, but the coaches, they took care of those nerves right away. And after that, it was just fun. After the First Shift, what kept me involved in hockey was the sanctioned minor program, the Scarborough Ice Raiders. I played with them for several years. First Shift means a lot to me personally. It kind of shaped my life growing up, because without this program, I wouldn't have gotten into hockey. Without hockey, I don't think I would be the kind of person I am. Being able to play on a team, work with teammates, day in, day out, build that sense of community is something that shaped my life throughout.
Having great, fit experts is outstanding. They are the heart and soul of this program. Having experts such as Tim convey their love of the game and their expert advice on equipment fitting reassures family and begins their hockey journey in the best possible way.
It feels awesome to give back to the program that started my hockey journey. I'm very grateful to First Shift, and I'm grateful to be back here and be able to be on the other side, give back to other kids, give back to my community. So something that I would say to a family that's considering the First Shift program is that it's absolutely worth it. You're getting a full set of gear and ice time at such an affordable cost. You're also getting memories that your child will be able to carry with them through the rest of your life. It's something that you'll never forget.
I had a really rough year, obviously. It kind of brought some light to what had happened to me, and
it was really perseverance in the face of adversity. Non-hockey related injury, but one of significance.
Getting the news that he had the fractures and it was a compression fracture, and him not being able to move and just waiting for the news to see if he needed surgery or if he was going to be able to walk, if it had hit any nerves. It was frightening.
It was hard, but what motivated me was the support I had around me. I felt like I couldn't fail.
With Dominic, he didn't walk away from hockey through his recovery. He continued to participate as best he could.
Hockey's taught me you got to do the hard thing, because usually the hard thing is the right thing to do. That perseverance, just pushing yourself through hard things, and it's helped shape the values of my whole personnel overall.
Today, everybody's busy, and to see young people like Dominic with the opportunity to set aside time to contribute to community is very important.
I want kids to have the same experience I had when I was a kid. I went to Knights games when I was younger, and you come home with a mini stick or a puck and it's like the best thing ever. I think a lot of people bond over hockey and what it's given to them, so I want to give the same to the future youth.
Having a scholarship program, it just allows us to recognize some of those individuals that have just taken that to the next level.
I mean, I cried. I was super proud of him being recognized for such an amazing award.
Obviously, I wasn't able to work for about 6 months. It's helped me and my family a lot, just paying for school and it being less of a burden.
It's not about just developing a hockey player. It's about developing good citizens.
So that specific shooting drill that we were working on today is to help give them those extra shooting techniques so that in a game-like situation, they're not just using one or two, they've got multiple ways of being able to shoot the puck. Not only does that make it more difficult for the defenseman to defend, but also for that goaltender to not only track it, but making sure that they're able to square up on the puck as well. So just helps them become more of that lethal player that they're looking for at that elite level.
Out here, we're working on a lot of transitioning, walking the blue line, puck retrievals. Lots of that has to do with being able to take good angles to pucks, good routes to pucks, being able to shoulder check, being able to execute some deception. There's a setup, there's a trap, there's a payoff to every move. So making sure that the players are understanding the process in how to identify danger, identify options, and how to misdirect players under a stressful environment.
So a lot of our focus points here at the Program of Excellence Under 15 is going to be helping the goaltenders a lot with their preparation before the shot. Things like leading with the eyes, scanning the ice before they make their movements, being able to put themselves into the right places at the right times, and ultimately set themselves up for success when the shot comes off the stick. We're also going to be tying in a couple small technical areas where we're talking about a lot of sequencing in their movement, about how the body is supposed to operate from the top of the head down into their skates in order to generate that real strong and effective movement.
U18 AAA Central Region Championship. It's medal day.
That's gonna do it! The North Shore Whitecaps to the gold medal game!
And the Waterloo Wolves have punched their ticket to the gold medal game. They've got a date with the Whitecaps tomorrow. Final score, the Wolves win by a margin of 6-2. For the second straight year, a berth to the TELUS Cup will be decided by overtime. 20 minutes of 3-on-3 play between the North Shore Whitecaps and the Waterloo Wolves for a trip to the TELUS Cup in Peterborough later this month. The third period was filled with action. The Waterloo Wolves striking twice on the power play. The North Shore Whitecaps striking twice on the power play. But they scored 3 times in the third period to even the game late. It was off the stick of Blake DeBoo, the 6-on-5 goal to tie the game in the last minute of play. And the North Shore Whitecaps in the Central Region Championships did not have a game reach overtime. They have not played in 3-on-3 play since the OMHA Championship, and that was 5-on-5 overtime. The Waterloo Wolves, on the other hand, they are 2-0 this tournament with wins over Ottawa and Toronto in overtime. Should be a great period to finish off what has been a long battle for both of these sides. Here's the replay of the second Humphrey goal. Bashed it away at the side. That made it 4-2 at the time. But the Whitecaps answer right back. As here is the 4-3 goal with just 3:07 to play. McLeish on the off angle taps it in. As we look down in the ice, Forwell, Humphrey maybe will start for the Wolves. McLeish, Farmer, and Drew. The 3 to the task for the Whitecaps. 20 minutes of 3-on-3 play for the gold medal will be decided next. Drew has a stick. Forwell a shot. He scores! The golden goal! Zach Forwell wins it for the Wolves! The Waterloo Wolves back the bus. Boys are headed to Peterborough! Seven seconds into 3-on-3 overtime. The puck got stuck in the last Zamboni lap over the middle of the ice. It halted on a dime, right for the most dangerous scorer in the tournament, Zach Forwell, and he fires it past Arnie Otis. And the Waterloo Wolves are the 2026 U18 AAA Central Region Champions.
Number 66, Zach Forwell. Unassisted, time of goal 7 seconds. Forwell, unassisted, 7 seconds into overtime. The final score here this evening, Waterloo Wolves 5, North Shore Whitecaps 4. Final shots, North Shore 29, Waterloo 25.
What a game we had.
Ask both teams to please line up with their respective blue lines for the player of the game, individual award, and medal
Forwell,
presentations.
a perfect shot. Elation on one side of the rink. A heartbreaking defeat on the other. Zach Forwell the overtime hero. His third point of the night, a goal and 2 assists. He was incredible all week. 5 goals and 11 assists, 16 points in 7 games for Zach Forwell. And the Alliance champion, Waterloo Wolves, have booked their ticket to Peterborough. The Wolves go a perfect 7-0 in the Central Region Championship. Surrendered the 2 late goals in the third with under 3 to play. Didn't faze them. Come out firing in overtime. On the other side, a heartbreaking defeat for the North Shore Whitecaps. A rare play. The puck just got stuck on the ice as Drew was backtracking. A valiant effort from the North Shore Whitecaps to battle back late in the game. Started the tournament 0-2 before rattling off 4 straight wins. The late goals in the game to fight back to even get the game to overtime. But it was all ended in an instant off the stick of Forwell. The teams will now line up. We'll get the player of the game ritual. It'll be followed up by the individual awards. And the silver medals will be presented to the Whitecaps, the gold medals to be presented to the Wolves. And then the Wolves will receive the Central Region Championship trophy along with a banner. A large Waterloo supporting out in the crowd today at the Angus Glen Community Centre as the team gives their praise to the parents and fans. Final shots on goal, 29-25 in favor of the Whitecaps. And the final score, 5-4 for the Wolves, as we'll take another look. Pick the top corner. Up and over, Arnie Otis for the overtime winner. Zach Forwell, the Elmira, Ontario native. 27 goals on the regular season. Led the team with 65 points through 35 games. Had 20 points in 11 games in the playoffs. He was well over the 2 points per game mark here in the Central Region Championship. Just a phenomenal season for the 2009 born forward. And he caps it off with the overtime heroics. Pure elation. Forwell jumping around with Finn Pettipies. The first man he goes to, the goaltender. Finn Pettipies needed to come up big late. He faced 14 shots in that third period. He stopped 25 of 29 today. We'll now throw it down to Ed Matthews, the PA announcer, to let him take over.
Great, exciting hockey game here for the gold medal game. It's been my pleasure to be your timekeeper, DJ, and PA announcer all week. Seen a lot of great hockey. North Shore Great job all week. You guys battled really hard. Waterloo, fantastic work. Congratulations and good luck at the TELUS Cup, boys. We'll start with the Player of the Game awards from the gold medal game. For the North Shore Whitecaps, number 9, Ethan McLeish. And the player of the game for the Waterloo Wolves, game-winning goal, number 66, Zach Forwell.
Ethan McLeish, the player of the game for the North Shore Whitecaps, and Zach Forwell picking up his third player of the game of the week for the Waterloo Wolves. He's been most certainly deserving after another three-point effort and the overtime winner tonight.
I'd like to welcome to the ice OHF Director Hugh Riddle, OHF Life Member Tony Foresi, as well as Markham Waxer executives Annie Lee and George Schnarr for the individual award and medal presentations. Starting with the individual awards, for the most sportsmanlike player, to congratulate from the North Shore Whitecaps, Captain number 12, Joey Longo.
Most sportsmanlike going to the Whitecaps captain, Joey Longo. He had 2 goals and 3 assists throughout the week for the Oshawa, Ontario native. 38 points on the season. It led all Whitecaps scorers.
The top forward award to the Waterloo Wolves, number 66, Zach Forwell.
Zach Forwell, going to hear his name called a lot. The top forward of the tournament. 5 goals and 11 assists for Forwell during the week.
And now for the top scorer award of the round robin section of the tournament. We did in fact have a tie between 2 Waterloo Wolves teammates, although we can only award 1 and the winner went based on goals. However, the tie was between Zach Forwell and Michael Ball. I'd like to congratulate Zach Forwell as being named the top scorer for the tournament.
Zach Forwell, the selfless play there, trying to hand off the award, and he's calling Michael Ball up. A great teammate move as Michael Ball comes alongside Zach Forwell as they'll be co-named the top scorers of the tournament for round robin play.
And just before we present the medals, we have the MPP for Markham Unionville, Bill Pang, here to say a few words.
The MPP, Bill Pang of Markham.
Congratulations, everyone. How are you today? Great. It's such a great pleasure for Markham Waxers for inviting me here to celebrate your success and achievement. And today, I see hockey lovers at U18 AAA Championship, fostering hockey, supporting healthcare, and I think to myself, you are making a more wonderful world. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Bill. I'd first like to congratulate the silver medalists here of the U18 AAA Central Region Championships, the North Shore Whitecaps, Lucian Arniotis, Cooper Arsenault, Carter Boyd, Dylan Callery, Blake DeBoo, Michael Drew, Patrick Farmer. Kane Goulet. Liam Hackett. Braxton Howard. Max Hutchings. Ethan Jackman. Zachary Kinchen. Joey Longo. Ethan McLeish. Camden Ryan. William Sandiford. Dean Sheridan. Rowan Turner. Rocco Williams. Roman Kulibaba. And Elliot Bluam. Coaching staff for the North Shore Whitecaps, head coach Tyler Turcott. Assistant coaches Rob Smith, Jamie Creamer, and Gerald Tiller. Trainer Taylor Collins, and assistant trainer Alex Pasternak. Congratulations on a great tournament, North Shore Whitecaps. Just before the gold medal presentation,
that will conclude North Shore receiving the silver
Bill
medals.
Pang would like to present President George Starr a certificate of congratulations for the Markham Waxers Hockey Club on behalf of the Government of Ontario.
Markham Unionville MPP Bill Pang will help hand out the gold medals for the Waterloo Wolves.
Now the gold medal presentation for the Waterloo Wolves. Grady McCall. Nathan Miller. William Kuhneman. Logan Young. Michael Ball. Chris Mabey. Josh Hobson. Aaron Howell. Wyatt Marks.
Fans, a quick reminder to subscribe to the OHF YouTube's channel. More hockey upcoming next week. On Wednesday, the U18 AAAs get underway in Waterloo. You don't want to miss a stitch of action. Subscribe and turn the notifications on to be reminded of all upcoming games as the U13 Central Region Championship gets underway Wednesday.
Eli Humphrey. Zach Forwell. Cole Bonneville. Sawyer Smith. Emery Alves. Ryder Hallman, and Jackson Niereisel. Staff for the Waterloo Wolves, head coach Kyle Morrison. Assistant coaches Andrew Brown, Tyler Murdoch, and Brendan Woods. Trainer Laura McGregor, and manager Gary Spark. Congratulations, Waterloo Wolves, on the gold medal here at the U18 AAA Central Region Championship.
The gold medals just finished being handed out as next up, the trophy presented to the Waterloo Wolves. The 2026 U18 AAA Central Region Champions.
We'd ask to please have the captain, number 39, Charlie Fast, come accept the championship trophy.
Charlie Fast, the captain of the Wolves, gets the trophy first, takes it into the scrum. And Zach Forwell will take it for a victory lap. The overtime hero in the championship game. Will also be presented with a banner. The Waterloo Wolves, a little bit of time off here before they will make the trek to Peterborough, Ontario for the TELUS Cup. 6 of the best teams in the nation will square off in Peterborough. The Waterloo Wolves, the 2026 U18 AAA Central Region Champions. Fans, I'd like to thank you so much for joining us all week long. It's been a blast here from Markham, Ontario. Massive shout out to D-Node, Yaz the director, Omar on the graphics all week long. Fantastic work. Francisco, Eileen, and Paul on the cameras today, and a shout out to James at home. He was on the cameras all week long as well. D-Node did a fantastic job all week long. That's DNODE. Make sure you check them out. They will be on the call in Waterloo for the U13 AAAs next week in Waterloo. Make sure you're tuning in for U13 action next week. That is all from Markham. It's been a long week. 19 games in 7 days for Mitch Kane. Thank you all so much for joining us. Have a safe Easter Sunday. The Waterloo Wolves, champions of the Central Region.
That gon' clap, back, so bad. Stack on stack, rack on rack, back on back. That gon' clap, back on back, so bad. Rack, back on back. That gon' clap, back on back, so bad. Stack on stack, rack on rack, back on back. That gon' clap, back on back, so bad. Rack, back on back. That gon' clap, back on back, so bad. Stack on stack, rack on rack, back on back. That gon' clap, back on back, so bad. Rack, back on back. That gon' clap, back on back, so bad. Stack on stack, rack on rack, back on back. That gon' clap, back on back, so bad. Rack, back on back. That gon' clap, back on back, so bad. Stack on stack, rack on rack, back on back. That gon' clap, back on back, so bad. Rack, back on back. That gon' clap, back on back, so bad. Stack on stack, rack on rack, back on back. That gon' clap, back on back, so bad. Rack, back on back. That gon' clap, back on back, so bad. Stack on stack, rack on rack, back on back. That gon' clap, back on back, so bad. Rack, back on back. That gon' clap, back on back, so bad. Stack on stack, rack on rack, back on back. That gon' clap, back on back, so bad. Rack, back on back. That gon' clap, back on back, so bad. Stack on stack, rack on rack, back on back. That gon' clap, back on back, so bad. Rack, back on back. That gon' clap, back on back, so bad. Stack on stack, rack on rack, back on back. That gon' clap, back on back, so bad. Rack, back on back. That gon' clap, back on back, so bad. Stack on stack, rack on rack, back on back. That gon' clap, back on back, so bad. Rack, back on back. That gon' clap, back on back, so bad. Stack on stack, rack on rack, back on back. That gon' clap, back on back, so bad. Rack, back on back. That gon' clap, back on back, so bad. Stack on stack, rack on rack, back on back. That gon' clap, back on back, so bad. Rack, back on back. That gon' clap, back on back, so bad. Stack on stack, rack on rack, back on back. That gon' clap, back on back, so bad. Rack, back on back. That gon' clap, back on back, so bad. Stack on stack, rack on rack, back on back. That gon' clap, back on
U18 AAA Central Region Championship. It's medal day.
That's gonna do it! The North Door Whitecaps to the gold medal game!
And the Waterloo Wolves have punched their ticket to the gold medal game. They've got a date with the Whitecaps tomorrow. Final score, the Wolves win by a margin of 6-2.